30 years may seem like an eternity, and the games of the generation dusty old relics. Imagine then porting a game that was already in its antiquity in 1990. There was plenty of pre-90s retro on the Game Boy, but you'd be hard-pressed to go back any further than the reimagining of the 1976 title Blockade. Just as a reference point, that's the same year as Hotel California, or the first Rocky film. Yeah, we're going back some here. Serpent is kind of the same concept as Snake, but instead of battling against your own ever-expanding reptilian form, you, the Alpha Force, inhabit a field with an opponent. The idea here is to somehow trap the other Snake, the Beta Force, in the same way that you die in the traditional version. While you're tangling yourselves up, there spawn about the level, randomly but always inside a closed loop, a number of pickups that keep things lively. Some allow you to expand your own Snake for a time, which is great for going on the offensive, but be aware that you'll find it harder to slither your way out of any predicament. You can shrink your Snake too, which may at first seem counterintuitive, but is actually safer. Somewhat odder are the missiles you can equip. I forgot to mention, the Snakes are actually robot machines piloted by spacemen from the future, because real Snakes with rocket launchers would just be silly. These kind of, but not really, seek out the other Snake, making them speed up or slow down. Similar to your ability to change size, one is not necessarily better than the other, it depends how you're playing. You don't immediately die on contact with a wall or tail, instead you get a grace period in which you need to hope that your opponent lets you out, else you explode. Slowing your opponent down with the missiles makes it easier to catch them, but harder to keep them caught as they take longer to die. This whole thing is not some intergalactic war for domination of the universe or anything like that. No, it's a sport. Basically, each match consists of 13 frames, of which the first to win 7 is crowned Champion of Serpents, whereas the loser cries with the bitter taste of defeat. Each time a round is finished, there's a short animation of your Snake celebrating the explosion of its enemy or looking disconsolate. "I have won the war," it so gallantly exclaims. Serious business, this. The music is very cool and goes on for a long time before looping. There are some interesting time signatures in here, and the percussion track has a nice rhythm to it. I don't mind the way it looks either. Sticking somewhat safe and clutter-free allows you to focus solely on your tactics. One interesting point to note about Serpent, this game marks one of the first uses of the overlapping technique whereby 2 different screens flicker in and out in alternating frames, giving a kind of translucent effect. If you let the opening screen roll for a short while, you can see a demo of the game with the title overlaid on it. A simple use of the technique, sure, but a nice one. Some of the nicest graphics on the Game Boy were achieved using this method, as we'll see later on. It only works properly on DMG and Pocket consoles though, so if you're emulating, apologies. The controls may take a little figuring out. You can move in the cardinal directions, but obviously you can only turn through right angles, and only if there are available spaces. Turning left and right doesn't utilize the left and right arrows as you might expect, nor do you use the north, south, east and west configuration that also could have been chosen. In fact, you turn 90 degrees anti-clockwise by pushing left, and 90 degrees clockwise by pushing A. Strange as this might seem at first, it allows for that little bit quicker movement on your part, as you aren't restricting your movements to just one thumb. Imagine trying to control both flippers in a pinball game using just the D-pad, and you'll understand what I mean. The developers could have just gone with the immediately obvious controls, but instead were more pragmatic, and made a good design choice. Sure, you need to switch to the B button to fire your missiles, but seeing as 95% of your strategy comes from movement, this is no big deal. So, it's Snake, but then again, it's not. It's probably closer to the movie Tron, except it probably aged better. What it is for sure is a peculiar, clever little time waster that is, as you might figure, most fun when played against a friend. It's the sort of thing that older kids would love tormenting their younger siblings with. Firstborns are cruel like that.